Hi, today we'll see the differences between a structure and a class. When you want to represent a complex data type, you can either choose a structure or a class. First difference, when you want to choose a structure, use a struct keyword. When you want to use a class, use a class keyword. Now let's move to the second difference. In the class, you can give a default constructor like this. For example, this customer class has this default constructor without any parameter. Now let's try to do the same thing for a structure. Let me uncomment this code. Alright, so here you can see it is giving you some compilation time error. Struct cannot contain explicit parameterless constructor. What does that mean is, in a structure you should not give or you cannot give a default constructor. So you cannot do that. That is the second difference. Now let's move to the main or very important difference between the struct and a class. Right now I have a main method where I'm creating the object of a class, and also I'm creating a new customer struct for a structure. Both class and structure have one property called as a customer ID, and I'm initializing the customer ID with some values for both. Now, what I'm doing is I'm just printing the customer ID for the class and structure. After that, I have written two methods. First method is change customer struct that takes a customer struct as a parameter, and whatever object you have here, I'm changing its value customer ID equal to 0. I have same logic for changing the customer class in another method where I'm sending a customer class object and I'm changing the customer ID to 0. Now, after I print the values before I call the functions, after that here you can see I'm calling the function change customer struct. I'm passing this CS, so it should have the customer ID is equal to 123, and then I'm passing the customer class object to the second method here. So what both methods are supposed to do, they should take respectively the structure and a class, and they are changing its customer ID property to 0. After both methods are called, I want to print the changed IDs for both structure and a class. So I'm printing both. So I'm expecting that now customer class ID should be 123 before the method call. Then the customer ID for struct should be 456 before the function call, and after that it should print 00. That might be you are also expecting, right? So let's run this program and see what is happening. Okay, so as you can see here, the customer class ID before change and after change, you can see the difference. It is changing to 0 from 456. However, for structure, the ID before the function call and after the function call is not changing. What does that mean? Why it is happening like that? It is because the significant difference between a structure and a class is struct is a value type and class is a reference type data. That means that when you pass a structure to a method, the actual structure is not passed, but it is passed by value. A duplicate copy of the value is present there, which is sent to the function and not the original structure. So whatever changes this function is doing on the duplicate copy of the structure or duplicate value of the structure and not to the actual structure. However, Whenever you pass the object of a class to a function, it is passed by reference. That is why the actual object is passed to this function. That is why this function does whatever changes to the object are the permanent changes.